Good evening all, and welcome back to Dark Souls. In this episode we'll be starting to look at Blight Town. As you can see, it's a long way down and it just gets worse from here. Before we enter Blight Town, we'll just run through the preparations we've done. We have 99 throwing knives. These are bought from the merchant in the Upper Undead Burg, the male one. We have a blooming purple moss clump. This cue's toxic. You can either buy them from the merchant behind the grate in the aqueduct, the female undead merchant, or farm them from the forest behind Andre. We also have some purple moss clumps. These cure poison. Equipment-wise, we have our trusty spider shield and our rusted iron ring, which we got from the undead asylum by going back to it. Preparations complete. It's time to descend. That message is telling the truth. I have also upgraded my spider shield to +5. And that's about it really. Oh, and upgraded my pyromancy flame a bit. The first thing you'll notice about Blight Town is that it's got lots and lots of rickety corridors with nothing below, rickety walkways with nothing below them. And that's the Blight Town Welcoming Committee. These guys are slow and powerful. They can be parried, but it's generally safer to try and get behind them. If they hit you, they do poison. And they quite often drop dung pies, which let you do toxic when you throw them, with the downside of they also do toxic to you. Now there's another 2 of these guys behind the first one. Personally, I prefer to lure them out to me rather than fight them both at the same time. I'm just going to drink so we can try and parry. Actually, I don't think you can parry the overhead smash. You want to be really careful if you're backing away from these guys. Not to just accidentally back over the walkway. This Blight Town is basically the level that will seriously test your situational awareness. You can just see there's one more there. I'm just going to stick an arrow in him and get him to come out and play. You'll notice some guys creeping around behind him. They're the normal mobs you find in this area. They're quite fast, they can climb ladders, and they have a jumping attack, which is the normal sort of land on you and eat and bite your head off type thing. We'll see if we can lure one into doing the jumping attack, so I can show you what the tell is for it. Yeah, that when they do that, they're going to try and jump on you and bite your head off. You can survive it if you hammer your shoulder buttons, but you certainly can't hammer. You probably can't survive 2 in a row. When they do that thing where they wave their hands at you, get out of their way. Blight Town really is made easier by having a bow, so you can just pull guys to safe spots to fight them. Now, as we move onwards, do you see that little bolt? This is being fired by what we call a blow dart sniper. If one hits you, it starts doing toxic build-up. Toxic will kill you pretty much instantly. Certainly within a few seconds. Fortunately, the shield blocks it, and these guys only spawn once. Once you've killed them, you're free, you're clear. And they're really fragile. And I've had my head bitten off again. Welcome to motherfucking Blight Town. Join me back here in a few moments. Here we are back where I died. As you can see, the blow dart sniper has remained dead. There's a few extra, I don't know, they're not really hollows, Blight Town mutants who came from these platforms here. One of the things that can make Blight Town quite difficult is that the enemies don't always come from the directions you expect, or areas that you thought were clear actually still have routes through to areas where enemies are active. Just going to pull these two so that we can go and get the soul item that they're guarding. These guys can climb ladders, however, since fighting on ladders in Dark Souls 1 is a bit of a losing proposition, it's best to just let them finish their climb and hit them as they come up. Then you just come along here, pick up the soul item, and you're good to move on. Now your next task is to get onto the stone bridge down there where there's a bonfire. You can't see it here because of the draw distance, even if we zoom in. And see what I mean about Blight Town being really good for giving you surprise enemies from directions you thought you were clear? Prime example there. I imagine this guy came from around here somewhere. We'll just snipe this one. A trick if you get lost in Blight Town and can't work out how to get somewhere is snipe at an enemy and watch them come to you. Okay, to the bonfire you've got two routes. You've got the fast but tricky route, which involves running off this platform, rolling onto there. This also lets you this lets you pick up the Iaito, which is a katana, and it's the first katana you can get in the game if you don't murder the Undead Berg merchant. The other route is more long-winded and requires going up and down and over platforms. We're going to do the long way round first, so that I can show you some of Blight Town's more delightful features. Right, the first thing we have here is a movable bridge. The trick is, as with so many things in Dark Souls, don't panic. if we come round the side of this, come round here, and what you've got here is the shadow set. This is ninja clothes, which we're going to put on now. This is one of the few bits of armour that looks different between male and female characters. I think it's the top that looks different, and maybe the hat as well. It's quite handy for this zone because it's got really good poison resist, and which poison resist is king here. Right, once we've dropped down, we now have to get back up to our normal route. One thing to be wary of in Blight Town is this mud. It'll sometimes swap to being non-walkable without much difference in slope. And sometimes it looks like you should have a safe landing zone, but you don't, and you just go sliding off into your doom. But anyway, getting back onto the normal track. First thing we do is we don't go down the ladder. We hop down. Round here and pick up this soul item. Then we've heard some pots break, which means something's woken up. Just going to have a quick, careful look around. Got another Proud Knight item here. And these little dogs you can just see behind me are a bit like the Capra Demon dogs, except that they can breathe fire and they're smaller. However, their pathfinding is also atrocious, and they will almost certainly hurl themselves off the bridge given enough time. Like so. Something to know about Blight Town that can make navigating it a lot easier is that all the ladders are marked with torches at the bottom and the top. So again, if you aren't sure where you can run, where's a safe path to clear, look for the torches. Once we've picked up that item, it's the way off this area is to come around here and you want to roll off or jump off. Either one should work. These dogs are very fragile, they're just annoying. You may have heard that dunk dunk noise, that means there's another sniper about. And here's our bonfire. Going to light and rest, and then we're going to go back up through the route and pick up another couple of items. Then we're going to make that jump for the Iaito. So to get back to where we were before we jump for the shadow thing is around here and up this ladder. You've got the infected in a pot and his buddy up there. This guy is pretty chill. I'm not actually sure what triggers him. This branch, despite appearances, is not a moving one. Ah, that's obviously what triggers him. Blight Town, ladies and gents. Blight Town. Moral of the story is, don't leave anything behind you. So I've collected my souls. This is why I say don't fight on ladders. We're now back where we went round to drop down and get the shadow set. So your journey, if you didn't stop for it, would be to continue down this ladder. And, round here. Now if you're looking at this floor, hang on, we've got a visitor to deal with. Right, let's have a look at this little floor. If, as you may notice, it looks even more rickety than everywhere else. If you were, say, fighting these guys and dropped down, when you dropped on it, this would happen. And it would drop you down here. Which is, at the other end, first of all, if you look around here, there may still be some little dogs alive. Yes, there are. And there's no treasure down at this particular section. But if we walk along here, I believe there is. Yes, if you basically got this quite rickety beam, or rickety looking beam to walk along. And here we have a humanity. To get back from this area requires you to come around here and walk across an incredibly rickety bridge. We also, as you can just about see, have a welcoming committee on the other side for us. Let's see if we can get them to come over here, so we don't, or at least one of them to come over here, so we don't have to fight them both at the same time. Sadly, the rickety bridges don't ricket for us, only for the enemies. Sway, not rickety, sway. So we've got one of them down. We'll just take the bridge slowly and carefully. This one's worse than the first one, and you can be slid off it if you're standing on the wrong bit when it starts moving. Some people can run across these. I only tend to bother trying that when I'm invading. Oh fuck. Well, that was exciting. You might be able to lure him across with the bow as well, but I'm not sure if you had a clean shot. But once we're here, we're safe-ish. So, down here, you've got a ladder that leads up to the platform below the Iaito. And along this little beam, we have a blooming purple moss clump, or 3 of them, which will be handy in a later section of the level if you don't manage to block well enough. Now we go up here. Round the side and walk over to the bonfire. I'm now going to show you how to do the jump to get the Iaito. Oh, and you're probably wondering what this item is that the floor lured you into going for. It's merely a large soul. Okay, here we are back near the start of the level where you line up for the jump to get the Iaito. The trick when making this jump is not to land on that post here. Additionally, I recommend that if you've already been to the bonfire, before you come up here to make the jump, go back down there and clear out the 2 Blight towners, because if you miss the jump, you'll probably survive the fall, but you probably won't survive being mobbed by them as you recover. So anyway, lining up to the jump. You kind of want to be about here and facing this sort of way. Then it's just walk back, however much you feel you need to give yourself a safe run up. It doesn't actually matter mechanically, it's just really on what you feel comfortable doing. Run and jump. And there you are. Pick up the Iaito. Drop down, making sure not to miss the platform. And head back to the bonfire. Now we'll just show off the Iaito's moves, though we won't actually be using it because it's not upgraded. Okay. Light attack. Strong attack, which is a bit like a sort of a sword drawing strike. Stepping attack. Rolling attack. I don't think there's anything special in the two-handed ones, but we'll just double check. Light attack. Strong attack. Rolling, stepping attack. Rolling attack, yeah, nothing different in those. Katanas have a feature of they do bleed build up. They usually have quite good dex scaling. However, the durability is pretty poor compared to more or less anything else. There's a ring you can buy from a merchant that can appear down here that reduces the effects of durability loss on your katanas. We're done with the first bit of Upper Blight Town for now. The next video we'll be looking at the rest of Upper Blight Town as we try and get to the lower bonfire. Thank you for watching.